Hello and welcome to this digital and online version of Huawei Connect 2021. We have a great lineup of speakers, all of them from a different industry domain with a different background, but also one thing in common, including myself, but I explain that later, which is the power and the value of using digital tooling in our daily operations. So let's introduce our guests first. Lady first, Simye, an online celebrity. Would you like to introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Hi, I'm Simi. I'm Brazilian living in China, and my whole life is related with products. I sell products online, especially electronics, and I also have one channel talking about electronics products review. But not only that, I also talk about my life in China.
I find it. Is it this one, right?
You can show this one, the secret to Huawei campus. As you can see, my life is totally related with technology, and Huawei is a big example. I'm really glad to be here with you guys.
Likewise, and thank you for joining us. Rafa, I should say Rafa.
Rafa is fine. I work for a hotel as a hotel guest relation manager, but I also mix it a little bit with my passion for traveling, and I'm kind of showing people all around the world through my YouTube channel places in China, hotels in China, and all what is related to my life here in this country. So actually I make a short video. I think I can do that. I have the Idea Share app already here.
My name is Rafael. I live in China. My story in this country began in 2015 when I came here for the first time. 5 years later, I'm more in love with this country than ever before. I am willing to discover and show the world what China is about. This is a huge and very vast country, full of wonderful people and incredible places to explore. It's a place that now I can call my second home, because that's the way I feel it.
So this is a bit about you and how technology and online and offline blends in your professional, but also in your personal life.
Correct.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation, Edwin.
Faye, we also already saw a bit of you. You are from the world of education. You're in Shanghai.
Yes.
Very welcome. But I understand that your students are in Argentina and anywhere else in the world?
Yes. Hi, I'm Faye, and I'm a Chinese teacher from Argentina. I work in an international school in Argentina. And yeah, my students, they are in Argentina right now while I'm here in Shanghai. Because I came here for my holidays during 2019, and then pandemic happens, so I couldn't go back. From last year to this year, I've been teaching online, in my house.
So, as I said, a great lineup of speakers for this particular session, speakers from different backgrounds, different industries, and yes, including myself. My name is Edwin Diender. I'm Chief Innovation Officer in our Global Energy Business Unit. So the four of us with different backgrounds and different interests maybe even, but using a common denominator, which is the power of digital, is what this particular session is about. So let's move on to the next topic that we'd like to discuss, which is how does that value come at play? For example, Simi, if you don't mind if I move to you first again.
Yeah, sure.
Product placement, product management, product introduction. There's a lot of shops for that. We understand a little about how online and offline shopping works, but I'm sure you have a lot of insights to share with that as well. How does the world of digital and the world of physical blends and creates value for you in your particular case?
For me, I do not only videos about the product reviews, but I also do live streams. For me, I tested the IdeaHub twice, and I really have a great feedback. When I show the products, and they said it's really easy to understand what you are explaining, and sometimes in the live stream you want to make it very interesting, so we can also pick up some random people to do some giveaways, or you can also interact with people, like asking them to come and talk with us. I think this is a great way to make people trust you, and they also make friends, so they also trust in the words you are talking because you are just sharing your experience right now. IdeaHub really helps because live sometimes takes 1 hour or 2 hours, and people maybe enter now, they don't see what you talk in the beginning, then you can put some stuff here, some important information.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rafa, a completely different industry. How and where and in what way does the power of digital enables you to blend all these things together, if it's even possible to do that?
Yeah, definitely, especially in this time where the pandemic is hitting us. We have such a hard time right now to get together in the same room, different people from different departments perhaps. So definitely the power of digital era is helping us a lot, right? We need to make a conference, we need to make a meeting, so we can use video conferencing, we can use our digital tools to communicate to each other, to see each other. Definitely, we've been doing staff training for 6 years. That's the time I've been here in China. It was quite different, I must say, a little bit more boring perhaps. We used to give them the information, they're still there listening to you.
Right.
But when you have a tool where you can allow them to draw, to write down, to move things, to interact with the content that you're trying to show them and teach them,
Right.
definitely they're more into it, they're more interested on that. It makes it easier, more interactive, it makes it more interesting to do staff training
Right.
with these kind of tools, and they're definitely more into it.
Sure. More inclusive, perhaps.
I would say that, definitely.
More inclusive.
Yeah.
Speaking of inclusion, Faye, how and where and in what way do you see it actually brings you value?
Well, for me, it's very, very useful. I've been teaching online before the pandemic, but I know that this online teaching, it's a big challenge for teachers. I mean, not maybe for students because they work with technology all the time, but for most teachers, it's like very hard to use, a new technology. So due to this pandemic, we are all forced to use applications and use new technologies, and we discover a new world for the education. And also not only for schools, but maybe, there are people that want to learn something, but if you don't live in a big city, you probably won't find a course in your town. There are no classes. So you need the online classes or you need a digital classroom. So I think that this new way of teaching is very, very useful, and it will be like a trending in the future. It's right now.
Right. It's actually one of the statements that I've used in my past. The future is now. The power of digital for me is that it really brings things together in such an easier way because of different channels working as one. I find, for example, this product here, this IdeaHub that we have here, is not just a hub for ideas, but it's also a hub of integration. It really is a hub. It brings channels together as one.
In fact, like you said, they have so many functions we can use. For me, I am like gamers and like this kind of electronic thing. So in fact, I also like to play games on IdeaHub.
Because it's a wide screen, of course, instead of
Yeah.
a small screen with a small gaming console.
Yeah, and it's also connected with people, Like we can even play some online games or even chess we can play, and we can interact, have the camera, they can see us, and there is so many ways you can use this.
Becomes more intuitive.
Yeah.
Rafa, what are your tips and tricks that you come up with or that you found out as you, for example, are on the road?
For example, we have a staff training again. I use that example because a piece of art like IdeaHub, I use it a lot at work for the staff training.
Mm-hmm.
So information sharing is an important part, and it saves a lot of time when you have like a PowerPoint presentation, right? And then you display it and they want to keep it for themselves. It's very simple just to have a QR code for them to scan it and they just can download it. Or I simply can forward it through an email address through the IdeaHub directly. So they don't need to take pictures or I don't need to print out on a waste paper to share the information that I'm trying to give to my staff. They simply just
Right.
scan the QR code and have them on their pockets, they have it on their iPads, they have it on their computers. So the speed and how easy it is to share information nowadays with technology, I think is a very important part, and I think products like IdeaHub or products that nowadays we can find in the technology market is very important.
Makes perfect sense to me. Faye, for you, in the world of education, remote learning and remote education, e-learning, remote teaching, did you find anything very specific or very interesting that you think that is a feature what it's not been made for, but I use it in this way because it helps me best?
I think that it's not only useful for remote classes, but also for the class that you were physically in a classroom. Because, for example, in my cases, some of my students, in my school, lots of students, they go to travel in the middle of the semester. If they are not in the class, but maybe they are at home, maybe they are in a hotel, they can attend to the class. So if we use this, I think that they can connect to the class and watch and be present even if they're not in there. And the other point is what Rafa says when I write in the board, because the IdeaHub is not only for video conference, it's also a board. That's what I find it very, very useful for every school. Yeah, I really like it.
I can also relate to what you're saying. You took part of the secret that I would like to share, actually, which is that the board is not just, or the solution itself is not just interesting, and a technology like this is not just interesting. Another thing that I use a lot, actually, is the ability for a solution like this one to flip between operation modes. If I'm behind my desk and I am asked, for example, by customers to join a meeting with them online, they are using different meeting tools of different software or hardware vendors. And on my computer, I'm sure everybody has this, you have installed these different applications. For your smartphone, it's very easy to do, but on your computer, the stability is much better, the quality is much better than on your smartphone. But how to do that on a screen like this? The first way would be you put it on your computer, you join with your computer, and then you share the screen from your computer with a screen like this, and then everybody has it. But it's computer quality. This is high definition audio, video, and what have you. If I need to tell my friends why this is more interesting than another one, I would use features that we've just discussed. So that's what I would say if I think my friends should be able to use it as well in their daily work. So here's my last question to the rest of you. Starting again.
Sorry, before you do your last question, I want to raise one good thing I just thought now. You know, I was just thinking what he was saying to us, and then I just realized there is one feature I really like about IdeaHub. Because for us, doing the live stream or we're doing some videos, sometimes we cannot stay in a quiet place. But with the IdeaHub, I like the area focus.
Ah.
Yeah, you know, like
yes.
They have the area, they catch the sound. If you are not inside that place, then the sound will not come to your video. I think this is really great, just not for videos, but also for meetings and also for the teachers, right? Because if you are doing some classes.
Yeah, if you are in a class and you have, you know, they're always talking in the background. So yeah, it's really, really useful that they just focus on your voice, so that the students that are remote, they can just hear your voice and know all the background sound. Yeah.
Active noise cancelling maybe is a feature that goes along with it, but the part that you talk about, maybe to explain to the audience here, in a solution like this, you're able to draw a line virtually in the area that the camera pinpoints at. And everything that is outside of that line mutes the noise. Very good addition, thank you for that. If there is something that you would have to say to your friends or your community, why not only the power of digital, but a solution like that is beneficial and helpful, what would that be?
You see, because IdeaHub can integrate so many things, like not only videos, but also many features you can connect together, and you can really have you don't need to have projectors or speakers or whiteboard. You can always have everything inside. I think it's really a powerful product. I think you can just say a perfect personalized assistant. You can do whatever you want, and that one can help you a lot.
Good. So not a PA, but a PPA.
Yeah.
a personalized personal assistant instead of a personal assistant. Rafa, what about you?
Well, I've talked before how it's being used in the IdeaHub professionally at work in my hotel, but I believe this is also a very powerful tool to have perhaps at home, right? I don't live in my home country. I do video call with my family often. So I wish I could have, or they have access to the IdeaHub, and then, because we all live all around the world in different countries. We are in Argentina, Spain, Venezuela, and China. Being far away from home and having a tool like this that allows you to interact that much. Having it at home, perhaps, I'm a person who likes doing sports, going to the gym. Perhaps watching an online class of kind of a yoga, perhaps another kickboxing. You can follow and look at the screen and do it at home. Why not, right? So I believe it's not just for having your work. I think at home it will work as well. So if you ask me, would you recommend it to my friends and my family? Definitely I will do it. I think it's a tool that we can have to communicate in a much better and integrated way.
Wonderful. Faye, how about you?
As Simi said, this is like a very integrated product. You know, for a school, you don't have to buy the board, the projector, and the speakers. You have everything in one product. that is I find it really really useful. And another thing is that it's very easy to use. It's very friendly. It's like using your tablet. It's like using your cell phone. It's like very very easy to understand. You don't have to read a manual. I think that most teachers won't have any problem with this.
I fully agree with you on that one. And on that note, we're at the end of this session. The power of digital is to bring things together in different ways. The mission statement of Huawei is to bring digital to every person, home and organization, most importantly for a fully connected, intelligent world. And that means we're fusing and we're converging and we're bringing technology together, physically and digitally. Thank you to our guests, Rafa, Fei in Shanghai, Semir here. On behalf of me and the rest of the team, enjoy the rest of the online Huawei Connect, and thank you for watching. And as we said, the future is now, so let's dive into digital.